Okay guys, welcome back. So I had a couple of things that I wanted to channel today. I had two separate messages specifically, but they were completely different tones, and I really didn't know which direction I wanted to take it. So I figured we're just gonna pull some cards and see what Spirit wants to bring out. How Spirit wants to guide the conversation. All right, so far we have blossoming abundance, journey, and walking away. What are we walking away from? Okay, let's get an affirmation card that sort of lightens up the tone a little bit. Okay, a cardinal. So we have a cardinal here. Look up the animal totem for cardinal, okay? I'm gonna have to remember to do that myself. I do know what cardinals represent, and everybody has, may have a different meaning, whether it's like, passed on loved one or some sort of luck, something to that effect, spirit communicating with you. Let's just read the card though. It says, the universe is always conspiring to support me, guide me, and lead me compassionately toward the highest good. And maybe that has something to do, let's hold up this card. Maybe that has something to do with this journey and whatever it is that you could be walking away from or walking towards blossoming abundance, okay? Let's get some more cards. Happy. Okay. Happy. What else do we have? That's right over blossoming abundance. Okay. We have in between worlds. And I feel like with that, this has something to do with whatever it is that you've been manifesting. Clearly, whatever it is you're walking away from. Community just came out, but it went back into the deck. So, unfinished symphony. Walking away. It's like you're walking away. You're leaving something. You're leaving something as is. I feel like you have understood along this journey what you're understanding what really brings you peace these days. I'm getting like the image of the Six of Cups, and what it represents, the nostalgia. And I feel like you're really just in this space where, okay, this is what I'm getting. There was a forge in the path. There was a forge in your path, or a fork in your path, right? And it's like you had two different directions you could have gone. You took one path, and I'm hearing that you've had multiple forks in the road, right? You've had multiple forks in the road, and like, I guess symbolic periods. Hold on, the Devil, Judgment. I feel like whatever the path was that you took, it was the path less traveled, right? The King of Wands, the Devil, and Judgment. I'm feeling like with the between worlds, whatever path you took, the path least followed. I think that's the saying, the path least followed. That's the path you took in order to, I guess along your journey. And not many people, like along your journey, I feel like whoever this message is for, you've really come to terms with loss, and not in like the typical way with Judgment and the Devil. You've had to experience great loss, and it doesn't necessarily mean death or anything like that, but you've experienced like a lot of loss, like loss after loss after loss. But I'm hearing with the Judgment card, you didn't lose faith. you know, you've learned how to master it. You've learned how to master it, and whatever it is, you see this journey card that's walking away. It's like you're walking away from this. I'm getting the book and the movie The Giver. I think it's The Giver, right? Where the world is like black and white, and yeah, so it's like you're coming out of that period, okay? And I feel like, especially with the Judgment card, you know, and the happy right over the blossoming abundance, I feel like it's one of those things that's like slowly blooming. It's like the universe doesn't want to give it all to you at one time, you know? It doesn't want to give you everything at once, but it's like you're starting to see, after, you know, you've I'm getting this saying, you know, like people are plant moms, and when they first start, they end up like killing a bunch of house plants. Well, I'm seeing like this is the point where you're starting to see progress. Like you're starting to figure out how to root cuttings, you know, and how to keep them alive, and how to transfer them and keep them alive, and like start growing plants. And it's like, that took, you know, you didn't just have like a green thumb. Like you knew on the inside like you had a green thumb, but it didn't necessarily come easily to you. It wasn't one of those things that came easily. I'm sorry, I was just like having a feeling, and I'm trying to see what's coming up, what wants to come up, or what wants to be expressed. Let me pull a couple more cards. Okay, I got the Magician. The Ace of Wands popped out, but the Magician is right there in the deck. Okay, so I feel like you're mastering something. There's something that you're mastering right now. Didn't I just say, like, y'all, stop. I literally just said the Six of Cups. Did y'all not see that pop out? Like, please stop. I'm about to get off of here. I'm getting off of here because it's like I'm trying to get it out, and it's like, okay, wow, oh my gosh, okay, all right, let me stop. So okay, see, that just shows us that we're on the right path. And I'm not gonna say that hasn't happened before. It's happened to me plenty of times, but honestly, every single time it's almost just like, wow. But yeah, I did just want to wanted to get on here, you know, and not really chat about much, but just allow the messages to come out how they want it to come out. Without really trying to dive too deep, you know, just making light of it, because honestly, that is what we're working on. This go around is actually being consistent, and even when I don't have all the words yet, still showing up and being having grace with myself, you know. And I want to extend that same courtesy to everyone else who is tuning into this message. Even if you stayed for a minute or so, I pray that is the energy that finds you, that you just figure out how to extend grace to yourself. And there is this person that I was listening to, and maybe it has something to do with all of this, the happy, right? There was this person that I was listening to, and I don't know if it was a TikTok video, or I really don't remember, because, you know, I consume so many videos on the daily. But so this person was saying, like, to create, you know, to give yourself permission to create, like children do, you know, to give yourself permission to not be perfect. And so this is what this is. It's because, like, I've had multiple go rounds with my tarot and oracle cards, and like really trying to stay consistent with it. And even when I was going through my rough times and you know, moving different locations, just like showing up anyway. And that's kind of what these videos, or these next couple of videos, will be about. It won't be about like getting the message perfectly, or, you know, being so hard on myself. Like, when I don't have the energy or capacity to fully tap in, you know, not just throwing my hands up and saying like, hey, I don't deserve to be on here because, you know, the message didn't come out fully, or it didn't sound the way I wanted it to sound. But yeah, just giving myself like permission to show up how I want to show up and taking back the joy. And I think that has something to do with this happy card. So yeah, just like taking back the joy, the childlike innocence when I first like figured out how to do oracle messages and like how to really interpret tarot, right? There was like such an innocence and ease to it. And then you know, I of course I did a couple of readings, most of them for free. I think I've only charged like a couple of times when I just really didn't want to do it, or whatever, you know, just to figure out how to like start some sort of business from it. But yeah, like I would do readings, and you know, it was almost one of those things where people would be very like unappreciative of the message. And there were a couple times where I think I like one specific example, I think I guessed the girl's grandma's name, but I said the name of a flower, and it turned out that was her grandma's name. And you know, I remembered it like days later, and she was like, oh, you did say that? And I'm just like, if I said your grandma's name and it's the name of a flower, but I mentioned something about this sort of flower and you didn't say, oh, that's her name, you know, it just makes you like not doubt yourself, but it just discourages you sometimes, for I guess maybe the lack of support or the lack of validation. And that's a journey in itself, like just, you know, not needing other people's validation. And I think that has everything to do with blossoming abundance, you know, because it's like you find something within yourself when you're like, maybe this is the reason that I stopped all of this, you know. And then there was another occasion when now I don't know what came of this person, but I told this person that, you know, the person that they were wanting the reading on, it didn't really give twin flame vibes. I just got the vibe of a similar, you know, thing. Like being on the outside looking in, you can often see the signs when people describe them, and they're, you know, they have their love goggles on. But not everybody takes lightly to being told like, hey, that may not be your twin flame. And it's just like, then you start to be like, you know, who are you to tell this person that that's not their twin flame? Like, who am I to tell that person that, you know? Like, even if I did get the message, who am I to relay it? You know, like, I don't know their journey. So anyway, that's what this is about. Me just feeling comfortable with myself, interpreting the things that I like to interpret, you know, telling stories and everything connecting. Like it's just like childlike wonder. So it's one of those things that I really enjoy. And as I stated, I just had to take that back, take that power back, you know, take it back for me. And I think that has everything. Look, the Devil card and the Six of Cups. You see that nostalgia, the things that you actually used to do, you know, you figuring, like, it's all tying together. It's all tying together. The Ace of Wands, like that spark that's coming back. The King of Wands, the Page of Wands. You know, the journey. Come on now. So it all makes sense. It all makes sense. Sometimes I do just have to. I have to talk. I have to open my mouth and use my voice. Use my voice and just let the messages come out how they want to. But I think I'm done with this general message. yeah, you guys join me, because I think I'm going to do maybe the elements. So earth sign, air sign, water, and fire. I think I may go back to doing those because I did those heavily before and I really enjoyed them. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you got this far, and at whatever point you're watching in your life or my life, because I, had to realize that this is not necessarily for the version of me that has manifested, that has failed. This is for the future version of me that is successful. You know what I mean? So keep going, guys. Keep going. You never know where you're gonna be in a year, or 2 years, or 3. So happy manifesting. Bye.